In 1967, three generals from the Pentagon came to Muhammad Ali's home. They carried a file with Ali's name on it and an offer. He wouldn't have to go to Vietnam, but in return, he'd have to do something else. Ali's answer destroyed his career but saved his soul. So what happened that day? And what was the special mission the Pentagon offered Ali? This story remained classified for 50 years. But now we know the truth, and this truth will change everything you thought you knew about Ali. Chicago, Illinois. March 28, 1967, Tuesday morning. Muhammad Ali was looking out his window, watching the snow-covered garden. He was only 25 years old, but he was already one of the most famous people in the world. Heavyweight champion, undefeated, born as Cassius Clay, reborn as Muhammad Ali to change the world. But that morning, boxing wasn't on Ali's mind. Only one thing was, tomorrow. Tomorrow he had to report to the military induction board. The United States Army was calling him to fight in Vietnam. Ali was determined to refuse. His Islamic faith prohibited him from participating in war, but he knew the price very well. The end of his career, prison sentence, social ostracism, millions of dollars in losses. He hadn't slept that night, neither had his wife Sonia. They had sat in the kitchen together, drinking coffee, waiting for dawn. Ali kept getting up and going to the window, as if he could find answers there. "Maybe there's another way," Sonia had said. "Maybe we can talk to lawyers, find a solution." Ali had shaken his head. "No, Sonia. There's no compromise on this. Either I go to war or I don't. There's no middle ground." That morning at exactly 9 a.m., the doorbell rang. Ali and Sonia froze. Who could be coming at this hour? When Ali opened the door, he found three men in military uniforms standing before him. Their uniforms were spotless, their shoes polished. From the insignia on their chests, he could tell they were generals. The oldest one smiled politely at Ali. "Mr. Ali, I'm General Harrison. We've brought you an important proposal. Do you have a moment?" Ali hesitated. His wife Sonia was watching anxiously from the kitchen. 1,000 thoughts raced through Ali's mind. Have they come for me? Are they going to arrest me? Or... "Of course," Ali said. "Please, come in." In the living room, the generals introduced themselves. General Harrison was responsible for special operations at the Pentagon. General Murphy headed the psychological operations unit. General Anderson came from the public relations department. The senior general, General Harrison, placed a thick file on the table. The file was stamped classified. "Mr. Ali," General Harrison said calmly, "we understand your situation. You don't want to go to war. You have religious beliefs. We respect that. But we want to offer you an alternative path." Ali listened carefully. "What kind of alternative?" The general opened the file. Photos, documents, and detailed plans spilled out. Everything had been professionally prepared. "Special Operations Unit," the general said seriously. "You won't go to Vietnam, you'll stay in America, but you'll serve your country in a completely different way, a much more effective way." Ali looked at the photographs. Military camps, propaganda materials, meeting halls, people speaking into microphones. "What exactly do you want me to do?" General Murphy took over. "We'll take you to our military camps. You'll speak to young people. You'll tell them about America's greatness, the value of freedom. You'll explain why the Vietnam War is necessary, why participating in this war is honorable. Think about it," added General Anderson. "When you, Muhammad Ali, speak, millions of young people will listen to you. Your words will affect thousands of young lives. You'll guide them in the right direction." Ali's expression slowly began to change. He understood what they meant. "You want me to do propaganda?" "Education, Mr. Ali," said General Harrison softly but firmly. "We want you to tell the truth. We want you to defend America's values." The second general, General Murphy, began speaking. "Think about it, Mr. Ali. You don't need to go to Vietnam at all. Your career continues uninterrupted. Your boxing matches continue. In fact, if you successfully perform this duty, the government will be completely behind you. Bigger fights, television deals, more money, wider audiences." The third general, General Anderson, added, "Besides, there's nothing that conflicts with your Islamic faith. You're not using weapons. You're not killing anyone. You're just speaking. You're guiding young people in the right direction." Ali flipped through the papers in the file one by one. The plans were incredibly detailed. Which camps he would speak at, which topics he would cover, what he would say, how he would dress, which messages he would deliver, even which facial expressions he would use had all been planned. On one page it read, "Ali will repeat the phrase, 'I'm proud to be an American,' at least 5 times. When young people hear this phrase from Ali, it will reinforce their patriotic feelings." "How much money are we talking about?" Ali asked. $500,000 per year, said General Harrison without hesitation. "Plus, of course, what you'll earn from your boxing career. In total, we're talking about approximately $3 million over 2 years, maybe more." Many things went through Ali's mind. $500,000 was astronomical money in those years. It was equivalent to 20 years of an average American salary. For his family, for his children, for his future, for his security. "How long will this last?" "Maximum 2 years, said General Harrison. "Until the war ends, then you're completely free and as America's hero. And if I don't accept? The generals exchanged a momentary glance. Then the process you know will proceed, said General Murphy. Refusing military service, court, possible prison sentence, boxing license revocation, career over. The room fell silent. Ali looked at the file again. Among the photographs were the faces of young soldiers, 18, 19, 20-year-old boys, young people about to go to Vietnam, with fear and determination mixed in their eyes. Then one photograph caught his attention, a Vietnamese child's photograph, maybe 7 to 8 years old. He was crying. Behind him were burned houses. Ali stared at that photograph for a long time. He could see the pain, the helplessness in the child's eyes. Who is this child? He asked, putting his finger on the photograph. The generals looked at each other. General Anderson shrugged. We don't know. Frankly, it's in our archives as propaganda material. It's used to show the tragedy of war. Propaganda material? Ali repeated the phrase with a thoughtful expression. Ali stood up. He went to the window, looked outside. White snow covered the garden. Everything looked clean, pure, innocent, as if all the dirt in the world was hidden under the snow. Mr. Ali, said General Harrison, we'd like your decision. Time is passing. Ali turned, looked at all three generals. I'm going to ask you a question, he said calmly but firmly. If you were in my place, what would your conscience tell you? General Harrison replied, Mr. Ali, we're soldiers. We don't make emotional decisions. We follow orders. People above us decide what's best for our country. I'm not a soldier, Ali said. I'm a human being, and every human being has a conscience. Ali went to the table, picked up the file. In this file, he said, running his hand over the pages, there are plans for speeches that will convince young children to go to Vietnam. These children are going to die. Maybe they won't return, and you want me to convince them. Mr. Ali? No, Ali said, raising his voice. Listen to me. I believe this war is wrong. What business does America have in Vietnam? Why should Vietnamese children die? Why should American children die? Why should mothers lose their children? Give me a logical answer to these questions. General Harrison tried to control the situation. Mr. Ali, we don't get into politics. We're just offering you an opportunity. You'll serve your country and won't be punished. Ali threw the file on the table. Papers flew in the air. Photographs scattered on the floor. Opportunity? This isn't an opportunity. This is a sale. You're trying to buy my conscience. The generals were shocked. They hadn't calculated that Ali would react so harshly, that he would be so determined. Mr. Ali, please calm down. Think, do you really know the consequences of refusing? Not just prison, career over, money loss, social ostracism. I know, Ali said. I'm aware of everything, but nothing could be worse than losing my conscience. Ali began pacing back and forth in the living room with angry steps. Adrenaline was coursing through his body. His fists were clenched. Look, he said, lowering his voice slightly. I am Muhammad Ali. Yes, I'm the world heavyweight champion. Yes, I'm famous. But much more importantly than that, I'm a Muslim, and Islam teaches me very clear things. It's a sin to kill innocent people. It's a sin to participate in unjust wars. The children in Vietnam are innocent. American soldiers are innocent too. Nobody wins in this war. Everybody loses. Mr. Ali, these aren't decisions for you to make. The government, experts, the government can't control my conscience, Ali shouted. No expert can tell me what's right and what's wrong. I'm a free man, and free people make decisions according to their conscience. The generals stood up. Diplomacy time was over. Mr. Ali, said General Harrison, this time in a very cold voice, this country has given you a lot. Championship, fame, money, opportunities. America took you from nothing to the top. Now your country is asking something from you. Just one thing. Ali stopped, looked directly at the general. This country gave me nothing, he said harshly. I earned everything by working, fighting, sweating, bleeding. This country gave me opportunity, yes, but I'm the one who made use of that opportunity. And now you people come and ask for my conscience. No way. Ali took the Vietnamese child's photograph from the table, held it up to the generals' faces. Look at this child, he said. Look now. No matter what speeches I give you, this child will die. American children will die, and I'll be responsible for these deaths, because you know the power of my words. You're exaggerating, Mr. Ali. No, Ali shouted. You're underestimating. You don't know the power of my words. If I go on television and say, go to Vietnam, fight for your country, thousands of young people will listen to me. The blood of these children will be on my hands. The room fell silent again. The generals clearly saw Ali's determination, his unchangeable stance. General Harrison played his last card. Mr. Ali, if you refuse this offer, you know very well what will happen to you. And it won't be just you who suffers. Your family, your close circle, your supporters, everyone's life will be affected. Ali laughed, but it was a bitter laugh. Are you threatening me? No. We're just stating facts. Ali went to the window. Snow continued to fall. The flakes were melting on the glass, flowing downward. You know, he said thoughtfully, when I was a child, I used to have a recurring dream. In my dream, I was standing on top of a big mountain. Thousands of people below were watching me, and I was telling them something very important. When I woke up from my dream, I couldn't remember what I said, but I always felt that it was something important. When my mother asked me, I would say, when I grow up, I'll say the right things. Ali slowly turned to the general. Today is that day. It's time for me to say the right thing. Ali went to the table, gathered the scattered papers, put them in the file, and handed it to the general. Take this file back, he said, and tell the Pentagon that Muhammad Ali is not for sale, at any price. General Harrison took the file, but decided to try one last time. Mr. Ali, I beg you one last time, think. If you miss this opportunity, it will never come again. Ali went to the door, opened it. Good, he said. I don't want it to come anyway. As the generals were leaving, General Harrison stopped at the door and turned. Mr. Ali, you will pay a very heavy price for this decision. I will, Ali said calmly but firmly. But I have no intention of paying the price for my conscience. After the door closed, Ali turned to his wife Sonia. The woman was crying. My God, Ali, what have we done? She asked. $500,000. Our future. Everything. Ali hugged his wife, stroked her hair. Sonia, he said gently, we can lose money, we can lose fame, we can even lose our freedom. But if we lose our conscience, we really have nothing left. And so, history changed. 3 days later, on March 31st, 1967, Muhammad Ali officially refused the military draft. At the military commission in Houston, he said, I am not ready to join the Vietnam Armed Forces. My religious beliefs and conscience don't allow it. The consequences came lightning fast. The World Boxing Council stripped him of his championship title that same day. The New York State Athletic Commission canceled his boxing license. His passport was taken. For 3.5 years, he was banned from fighting in America. Ali lost an estimated $10 million during this period. They stole his strongest years, his most productive period from him. But he was never, not for a moment, sorry. In 1971, the Supreme Court unanimously decided that Ali was right. The right to conscientious objection was recognized. Ali was able to return to the ring. But his real victory was the moment he said no to the Pentagon generals on that cold March morning. Because that day, Muhammad Ali fought not for money, but for his principles, and he won. That classified Pentagon file was released to the public in 2010 under the Freedom of Information Act. Under the title Special Operations Ali Project, all the plans from that day were documented in detail. The government really did want to use Ali for propaganda purposes, but Ali didn't allow it, and history proved him right. This story shows us that sometimes the most difficult decisions in life are also the most correct decisions. Sometimes losing is actually truly winning. Muhammad Ali lost his career that day, but he saved his soul, and that was worth more than any championship, any title, any monetary prize.